This is some foam work off the layout in an area where it's very hard to get to. So I'm gluing pieces on the layout and bring it over to a workbench to cut the foam to shape it. And normally I would work like one layer at a time on here, but since I'd have to keep taking this back and forth to layout, in this case I build up 3 layers. I just had kind of a rough idea what I wanted. I wanted a stair step type appearance coming off the end of a mesa. And I just kind of drew some different contours, kind of followed them. And now I'll go in and try to make this look like something. So things will probably change as I go. So I'm using a what's called a freehand router from Hotwire Foamworks. I love this tool. I couldn't do without it. I do 90% of my work with it. So let's get started. I'll kind of look for areas like right in here. We have a ravine coming up. We have another ravine up here. So I want to try to maybe connect these as the water would flow down and erode this rock face out. The other thing is this is only 1, 2, 3 inches. So this is only 39 feet, around 40 feet in elevation height from here to here, about 50 or 60 down to the very bottom. It's about 80 or 90 feet. And width-wise, up here where we're down to like 2 inches, this is only 26 feet across here in N scale. So this isn't a huge mountain. We're just working some detail in the rock face. So I'll turn this on. I've got 2 ends. I've got you can bend this wire any way you want them. I got one in more of a 90 degree and more in a general curve. So I'll just start working here, and you can watch if you want to stay with me here. So I'll just start trying to work my way over to what I want to do over in here. I never have anything planned out long ways in advance. I just kind of work along and work as I think something seems kind of natural to me. I live in this country that has rocks like this, so I've kind of got some idea what I want to do. Okay, so now we've kind of got a ravine working its way down here. I'll take I'll set the hot knife aside, and I just use one of these little stainless steel brushes. I got them primarily because I do some aluminum welding. I won't ever use this on aluminum welding again, but I can just start working this with this brush down through here. If you pick backwards with the brush like I'm doing here, it will pop a lot of the foam work off. So just kind of do what seems good. See, I'm enlarging this out down here so it blends in a little bit more. The other side isn't as aggressive, and it'll smooth things out more. Okay, so now we've got kind of a little place for the water ran down. And I'll come back and probably just start rounding these off a little bit. Just remember, everything out in nature just is, nothing's real set, so you can't hardly do anything wrong. I'll put a little bit of detail in here. Blend this a little bit into the next layer down here. Just kind of get places like right here, there's an indentation, so this is going to be an area where the water worked its way back in. 5 minutes ago, I had no idea what I was going to be doing right now. So just kind of go with it and just kind of make things look the way you like it. Now, I'm doing rock faces that are more typical of the area I live in, southeast Utah, where there's a lot of sandstone and you get more of this type of a look to it. I can put a little bit of lines in here, fracture lines. Here again, I'm going to just come down out of this little ravine and take it down into this one I started below. This can come around the corner right here. I wanted to get a little bit of a semi-flat area along here where I could put maybe some desert type vegetation. Okay, so now in a few minutes I've got this area roughed out. I'll take my brush and I want to get rid of any of these lines. Now you could leave some lines in places if you want a more angular surface. So we'll just move this little gully ravine back up into here a little ways. Maybe leave this little rock point. And we're going to cover this all with spackling. I use spackling because it's cheap. I like to work with it. It works well. You can buy other products that are sold more for hobby. But I've got so much foam on this layout. I'd have $1,000 into those where I've got $100 into spackling. You can see I don't want to leave any any areas that are flat. You're not going to really find anything out there in nature that's flat. I've got a deeper gouge with the knife right here. I could leave this because that can just fill in with spackling when I get there. So I'm pretty close to how I would leave this. And it didn't take very long to do this. And we have something that will kind of pass here. If I want to put in larger striation lines, I can use something like this wire brush, and it'll cut in some strata lines across these rock faces. There again, when I put the spackling on, I can do this also. So I hope that gives you an idea how easy it is to use these tools. One other tool that I use some is this, what they call their sculpting tool. So I didn't leave much overhang here, but if I want to, I can take this sculpting tool, turn it on, put it against the rock face below, and I can cut some of this overhang off. Like I said, I didn't leave much overhang here, but sometimes I'll have overhang out here a ½ inch or so. I can use this tool and very quickly come in and cut to where I want to be. The other thing you can do with this tool is go along and just kind of put a taper into your rock face, and then use the other tool to come up and let it warm up, come up and start cutting pieces of this rock face out. It's quick and easy to work with this. And these tools, I bought some other tools off of Amazon, different places, but they just don't work as well as these tools do. So what I do is I run these tools I made this little board here, and I can plug 3 of these tools in and unplug them. And then this cord here goes to the power supply. I don't know if I can pull it all the way over here or not. So I bought this power supply from Hotwire, and you kind of have to search for it. They've got ones that are lower power and ones that are higher power that you can change the heat on, but this works great for me. This combination has been really good. I've also got a straight wire I also bought this cutter here, and it works okay. You can cut stuff with it, but I use it very little, to be honest. I probably wouldn't buy it if it broke right now again. Like, you could use it maybe. One thing you can do with it is you can cut down into the center of something and then cut out a hole, where you can't do that with these other ones, but I don't have that need very often. But both of the tools I showed you are great. They're not the least expensive on the market, but they work, and you can't find another one to to my knowledge, like this, where you can bend this wire into all different shapes to cut with. Like I said, I work mainly just with the 90-degree here and the bigger on this side, just depending on how I'm trying to cut the foam out. So, hope the video was of some use. Ask me questions if you have any. And let me, hold on just a second, and I'll show you one other thing, if I can find it. Well, I'm back, I found it. So I've got this heat gun that wasn't very expensive, and it can do some nice things when you're working with this foam. If you come in on it, I don't know if you can see it, but you can change the texture on this foam and kind of like, you can kind of melt it back in areas. There's two heat settings on it. I was on the lower heat setting here, the bigger one does. But it will kind of give it a different texture on here. It kind of like hardens it up so it's not so soft as it was. So it's another handy tool. I think it was only like $15 or so on Amazon. I don't know if you can see anything here. So I'll put this up on the layout. I'll stop this, put up on the layout, and then show you what it looks like up there.